goes, his parents take him to Passover at the temple. And he ends up staying there. He's talking with the teachers of the temple. And I believe that that moment, 12 years old, and 12-year-old is a crazy formative stage for kids, parents. I think 12 years old, Jesus went there and he sees the symbol of this lamb being sacrificed as the Jews did for sin and placed on the altar. And somehow that God starts speaking to him and he realized, I am that lamb. And it was so overwhelming he couldn't leave the presence of God. He couldn't leave the temple of God to go home with his parents at that point because he saw who he was. Now at the age of 12, can you imagine when you're starting to figure out life and girls, guys? Imagine if suddenly you realize that your entire mission, your existence, your reason for existence is to suffer a horrible death. That's a hard realization at that point. When I started that self-realization thing at 12, it's lasted for a couple years and I'm still figuring it out. Imagine if you figured it out and it was, yeah, your purpose is to die. And not just like, yeah, you're going to be 80 years old, lived a full life, you live another 10 years to 90, you're going to live another 10 after that, you're going to be 100, 105, and you're going to sleep peacefully. No, you're going to die young in a horrible way. That's your purpose for existence. He realizes that, I believe, at 12. There's not a lot of biblical support for that. That's just my process in the Word. You don't have to believe that. It's okay. But whatever it was that Jesus figured out who he was, he realized, I have come to die. That's my purpose for existence. That's my mission. I have come to restore people into a relationship with the Father. And so as he stood in front of Caiaphas, if he lied, he would kill the mission. Mission would be over if you lied. We've been on a series together. Maybe you thought I forgot. Been on a series for the last quite a few weeks. Because Brian's the only one who can take 10 commandments and fit them into 11. A couple weeks out for other stuff. The 10 promises of a new life. Remember how we talked about, let's not forget, part of the premise of this is that in Hebrew, these commandments can be translated as emphatic promises. Not as much as commands, but as not only commands, but as promises. You're not going to kill. I promise you, you're not going to kill. You're not going to want to commit adultery. I promise you, you're not going to. These are promises that God gives you for a new life. So as we get to Exodus 20, verse 16, which is today's promise. Exodus 20, verse 16, and it says this, you must not testify falsely against your neighbor. It's saying you're not going to testify falsely against your neighbor. And if you want to dig the text apart some more, the word neighbor is a fun word because it means like your neighbor, somebody close to you. It also means somebody that you might kill. So what the text is really emphasizing is the fact that we're all interconnected, right? We're all connected together, whether we think we are or not. We are part of this bloodstream of the image of God. That's what you are. You are in the image of God. You carry the likeness of divinity around with you. And that person who's sitting across the table from you carries the imprint of the divine. That's not just a person. That is a piece of who God is. It's sitting across from you at the table. Love them like it. Cherish them like it. Embrace them. Connect with them. Even if they irritate you, dig the innermost part of them out because God has a kernel of himself. Even though the whole person has been messed up by sin and an unrepentant heart, there's still that imprint of divine in them. It says, put it back up there. We're not done with it. You're not going to testify falsely against your neighbor. Literal translation is, you're not going to testify, talk about something that's not correct to or against your neighbor. It could go either way. You're not passing on something that's not true to someone else. Now we get that. Okay. How many of you have been lied to? Raise your hand. Yes. How'd you like that? Was that a thumbs high kind of experience? Want to do it again? Now we all kind of get that. Lying stinks. But how many of you have lied? Even though you've been lied to, you've lied yourself. Be honest. Raise your hands. Bunch of liars not putting your hands up. I like this one. That's funny, though. Because we lie in a lot of ways that are not like, typical lies. There's lies like, Tim, there's a big cow in the multi-purpose room. Can you go get it and take it out? That's a lie. Yeah, that's a lie. I'm not going to exegete that anymore. That's a lie. Okay? But there's also another lie, which a lot of lies that are a lot more subtle. Men, have you faced this one? Honey? Does this?
Look good on me?
No, honey, not at all. Because you know it's going to get back to you when their girlfriend sees the outfit. Go, honey, you didn't wear that. Well, my husband said it looked okay. Why'd you let me go out of the house wearing that? There's the lies that are even more subtle. Because it'd be hard to say them as lies sometimes, but that's what they are. It can be described as a lack of authenticity. A lack of authenticity. What you see is what you get. You ever met one of those people that, like, you shake their hand and you're just like, dude, that dude's plastic. Like, I don't know who they are, but it wasn't who I just saw. That's kind of irritating. But have you ever been to that place where you say, you know what? No more masks. No more games. No more protecting myself. I'm going to be authentic. Completely and utterly transparent and authentic. It'll throw you off, let me tell you. I had to have it in college. It was great. Made me really confused. I went to school in Tennessee, Southern College, and it's a cool school. There's this huge sidewalk that goes from the English building and PR communication stuff all the way down to nursing and everything else in between. Science building and all that stuff, library. And so, especially in the morning, going from class to class, you see, a quarter to a third of the entire student body at some point going up and down that sidewalk. And if you have a really bad advisor who gives you a horrible schedule, you go from one end to the other and back again. Which is a great workout plan with, 50 pounds of textbooks. And as you're passing everybody, because it's in the South. How many of you from the South? Spent time in the South, lived in the South for a while. You know what this is? Everybody's really friendly in the South. So you're walking down the sidewalk going, hey, how's it going? Hey, what's up? How's it going? Hey, hi, what's up? Hey, how's it going? Hey, what's up? And you're answering. And it was really fun when you pass somebody and say, hey, what's up? Good. All right, whatever. So I'm walking down the sidewalk once, went from that one kind of around and down towards the boys' dorm. I'm heading to the boys' dorm, and this guy's coming up. And I'm used to this. I'm now part of the Southern culture. Hi, what's going on? How you doing? Hey. I said, hey, how you doing? And he said, horrible. And he stopped. So I stopped because it was the only polite thing to do. And he started in for the next 10 minutes telling me exactly why his life was horrible. I was uncomfortable. I didn't know what to do at that moment. This man's telling me his life story. I don't even know his name. But you know what I give him? Perhaps there was a more socially acceptable way to deal with that. But I give him a lot of props now. Because he was one of the few people in hundreds of people that I passed every day that was actually honest. Actually transparent. How many times have you walked into church somewhere, or church here, and you've had one of those weeks where you feel like Satan's been coming against you all week long, and you've been taking it and getting beat down, and you walk into church and someone says, hi, how you doing? Oh, just praise the Lord, bless Jesus.